with two of my team members, Maria Ruiz and Andrea Torres. We are from the Vallejo Raley's location, which is off of Sonoma Boulevard in the Raley's complex. So we're excited all to have everyone here today and talk about fraud prevention in retirement. So with that being said, I'm going to have our first presenter come up, which will be Maria, who will be talking about fraud prevention today.
Financial abuse is an ongoing concern. Understanding early abuse can be distressing. The fact that older Americans are losing at least $2.9 billion every year due to people who take advantage of them. That's only for the case of those who actually has been reported. A study made in 2011 shows that nearly 60% of the fraudulents are men between the ages of 30 and 59, while most of the females are between the ages of 30 and 49. And as your baby boomers had lead long lives, the number of older Americans will only increase, as will early financial abuse. It's in all of our best interests to learn more and what we can do to stop this kind of abuse. Early financial abuse is much more than just trying to scam seniors or gain control of their money. The National Committee of the Prevention of Early Abuse defines early abuse as a broad spectrum of conduct, including taking vulnerable early money or property, taking or using older persons' property or possessions without their permission, promises long-term life, even long life care in return for money or property, and then not fulfill their promises. There are many reasons why the early becomes targets and fall for the scammers. Most common reason is that seniors are most likely to depend on others due to their disabilities. Their caregivers have ready access to their homes, financial accounts, personal information, medical supplies, and medications, and they are typically trusted companions who can easily influence to seniors. In terms of financial matters, seniors may not realize the value of what they own, including their homes, which can be worth more than what they think it could be. And then some people come up and then try to buy it for less than what the actual value is. Many elderly people are not comfortable with involving technology. They're afraid of using technology as a resource to see their accounts because they say that they're better off with mail. But what they don't really actually realize, that mail can be stolen from your neighbors, from people who are just walking by. Online banking gives you the peace of mind with the lock security on it that your accounts are secure. And you can monitor daily, so you don't have to wait for those statements to arrive home. Many early abuse seeks out seniors with the intention to scam these people. Say they love the older person, known as the love of romance, gain access to their seniors and caregivers, counselors, or other professional services. Find widows or widowers by reading abstemious driving through neighborhoods to identify seniors who live alone or isolated. And then they quickly move communities to communities so they don't be noticed. Service providers or businesses that don't have a strong reputation also may take advantage of seniors. These people may overcharge the senior or use unfair business practices, use position of trust or respect to gain compliance. Unfortunately, close friends or family members are often common suspects. These people may think the senior will spend all of his or her money savings, depriving him or her an inheritance, trying to prevent other family members or siblings from inheriting the senior's assets, attempt to isolate the seniors from friends and family members. To help prevent the older family members and friends from financial abuse, it's important to know what to look for. Salary needs to discuss financial matters. A typical of understanding withdrawals, wire transfers, or other changes in their financial situations. New best friends or new sweethearts. Once other or willing to disability behaviors change, such as fear, social isolating, withdrawal behaviors. This may also be signs of health issues or dementia. Transfers of titles of homes to other assets to other people, no apparent reasons of why they do so. Fraud may be limited to isolate attempts to steal money from an early loved one's existing accounts, such as charged on their stolen credit cards. Fraud can also be a serious ongoing events and activity designed to drain early people's or their resource. If a crime obtains a senior's credit cards, debit cards, or other personal financial information such as account numbers, passwords, or social security numbers, they might be able to drain the senior's financial accounts or make charges of the senior's credit card. It also combines a crime called identity theft protections, occurs when someone steals person's identification information and used to open new accounts or initiate transactions on the senior's name. Identity theft can seriously damage one's credit, financial reputation, and a person's reputation. It does not matter if you're 60 or 85, retired or not. It does not matter if you check your aging parents every day or trust the caregiver if you have chosen, even is susceptible to older financial exploitation. Unfortunately, it seems there is no end to the various types of financial abuse or fraud. Some of those common types are undue influence, the misuse of position of trust, misusing of authority, assuming illegal authority such as a power of attorney to obtain a loan or withdraw money from the earliest person's account, mailing or telephone fraud, contact an early or department adult claimant the early has owned or inherited a large sum of money, and service fraud, offering to perform work for an elderly or dependent adult. Now I'm going to pass it over to Jen so she can cover the different types of scams.
So now that you got a basis of what exactly prevention looks like and types of identity theft, I'm going to be talking about some current scams that are out there that we, working in the bank, see all the time. So some of you maybe have heard about or experienced firsthand a scam intended to defraud seniors. Because senior citizens are thought to have large amounts of money sitting in their bank accounts, they usually are the prime target for these scams. One of these scams is called the grandparent scam. Typically, a grandparent scam works like this. Someone calls a senior on the telephone and whispers or mumbles a phrase designated to get their senior to reveal their grandchild's name. For example, the caller may say, "Grandma, it's me," or "Grandma, is that you?" Once they have that grandchild's name, he or she will impersonate that grandchild and claim to have lost a wallet, been in an accident, or some kind of duress. Then the perpetrator will ask the senior to wire money to them, which they often don't require identification to collect. That's one example that we see out there today. And another one is through Medicare or Medicaid fraud. Their universal coverage makes it easy for perpetrators to pose either on the phone, in the person, or via email as Medicare representatives and ask seniors to provide personal information, which then they can use to set up accounts or apply for credit cards. Another scam that we see is home equity scams. So non-reputable people working in real estate, financial services, or related companies may use reverse mortgage scams to steal equity from the property of senior citizens. In many of these scams, seniors are offered free home, amazing investment opportunity, or assistance with foreclosure or refinance in exchange for their home's deed. Another scam is fraudulent anti-aging products. Preying on an older person's desire to look and feel younger, scammers can create bogus anti-aging products or scams or remedies that do not halt the aging process or even conceal the effects of aging. However, it's some kind of subscription that they sign up for and get some kind of monetary loss there. The next one is funeral scams. There are two different types of funeral and cemetery fraud to watch out for. First, a perpetrator will read the obituaries to attend a funeral to find the contact information for a widow or widower. Then the perpetrator will claim he is owed money and continue to extort the grieving victim. The other scam is perpetrated by disreputable funeral homes that have already paid a large cost of funeral service and add unwarranted charges. Both scams are usually perpetrated in person for this type. Another scam is a service scam. You receive a telephone call from what seems to be a legitimate company. There are problems with your account and the company needs to verify some information. This scam is very popular. It happens all the time. The caller already seems to have information about you, so you feel comfortable sharing additional information, such as your account number, to help the company correct the problem. One helpful tip to know is that if you're being called by someone, you never want to give out your information. You want to ask for a phone number and call them back to verify it's a reputable business. Another scam we see out there is a sweepstakes or lottery scam. This scam is usually perpetrated with letters, phone calls, or emails. Whatever the form, the message will say something like, "Congratulations, you've just won a lottery," which requests to deposit a large amount of money into your personal checking account. However, you need to immediately wire a portion of the funds to foreign accounts to cover various taxes and administrative fees. Believe it or not, this is one of the most popular frauds, and it happens to any age group, and we see it consistently on a daily basis at work. So a great tip to have is legitimate lotteries pay taxes directly to the government rather than being reimbursed from the winner's proceeds. It is against U.S. law to play a foreign lottery by mail or by telephone. So it's a great tip to help prevent that. Another scam we see is counterfeit prescription drugs. Many seniors will shop around to find the online best prices for their prescription drugs. And this is where scam artists might rip them off by providing counterfeit drugs. Not only will the senior citizen lose their money, but they will receive drugs that may potentially harm them. And one of the last fraud types we'll be talking about is the Nigerian letter fraud. This has been common in the past as well. It's a senior citizen receives a letter or an email or fax from a foreign dignitary. The correspondence promises huge monetary rewards in exchange for helping an official from a foreign country out of an embarrassing legal problem. All the senior needs to do, the correspondent states, is to send a small amount of money in comparison to what she will receive in return to help out the foreign dignitary. Of course, the victim never receives any reward and loses the money that was sent. Internet fraud is highly likely as well. These scams include a call from someone claiming to be a large computer company asking for permission to access the senior's computer remotely and resolve a service issue or virus. Again, someone's calling them. The perpetrator then accesses saved data on the computer, such as names, addresses, account numbers, and other personal data. They use the information to apply for loans, credit cards, or steal the senior's identity. Another related scam is also phishing. It's usually a two-part scam involving emails or spoof websites. Fraudsters, also known as phishers, send an email to a wide audience that appears to come from a reputable company. However, it's known as a phish email because it truly is not from that company. In that email, there are several spoof websites that imitate a reputable company's website, but there are some things that are not fully it. For example, the logo may look off, or the spelling is a little incorrect. or the font type. But they hope to convince victims to share their personal information by using clever and compelling language, and usually urgent, to update information or a need to communicate with their own safety and security. Once obtained, they use that information to either steal their money or their identity. Use caution always if you receive an email expressing any urgent part, so to activate your online banking, to identify you by clicking on a link. These emails could potentially be part of a scam to help obtain information from your computer and from your data. It's always important to be careful to verify that. And some helpful tips around that is if the email that it's coming from, to always verify it's from that company. For example, if it's a company such as Wells Fargo, any correspondence that we send out to our clients are always from @wellsfargo.com. Those phish emails traditionally are at Gmail or a different address, so it's very important to look at that in the sender and where that's coming from. And additionally, the websites that they make you click on. If it's something that has a website that might not look directly like that company's website, it's important to look at, but a key thing to know if it's valued, if it has that HTTPS. With that S at the end, that means it's secure and a verified website. So it's important to look at that whenever you're going to web browsing, that it's the HTTPS. Some additional helpful tips for protecting yourself and loved ones is be wary of strangers allowed in your home. Always keep sensitive data, credit cards, and checkbooks out of sight and locked away. You want to store all your account statements securely. Safely store copies of your driver's license, credit cards, car registration, ID cards. All of that information should be safe and locked up and secure. It's important to shred old documents and unnecessary statements or unwanted credit offers. Don't ever send personal information such as account number, credit card numbers, or PINs through email. Select one credit card with a low credit limit for all your online purchases to help protect against online fraud. Immediately after you make a web transaction, finish an online session and completely close down your browser. That's important as well to make sure that none of your information gets saved. Turn off your computer when you're not using it, and don't leave it in sleep mode. And then never download files, open attachments, or click on hyperlinks emails from people or companies that you do not know. And it's always important to have firewall on your computer. So additional fraud to help with, some additional prevention to help is with mail security. A lot of the fraud we see is through the mail, so it's important to make sure that your mail is secure. You always want to notify the post office immediately of any change of address. Get a mailbox that you can unlock with a key. It's always important. Do not leave your mail in visible, unguarded areas. And reduce your risk of mail fraud by signing up for those electronic statements and online banking. If you're out of town, place a hold on your mail delivery and have a person that you trust pick it up. Don't put outgoing mail in your residential mailbox. It could very well be stolen. Put outgoing mail in a secure UPS mailbox and hand it directly to a uniform USPS mail carrier. Use electronic bill service to help reduce and keep your information safe. If a company's regular bills or statements stop reaching you, it's important that you contact that company immediately to ensure that it is not stolen. So it's very important to be proactive on those things. We talked about a few things to help with the certain kind of scams that are out there today, but it's always important to organize your financial affairs, whether that be wills, trust, insurance policy. You always want to have that organized and filed away, and again, in a safe place. You want to make a list of those financial contacts for emergencies. So all financial assets that you have in their contacts should be in that safe place as well. And always beware to keep a watchful eye and ask for any type of fraud that you may have a second set of eyes look at that for you. And now I'm going to pass it over to Andrew, who's going to talk a little bit about retirement.
I'm going to be talking a little bit about the retirement plans to help you create and learn plans and options for yourself. Most of us would like to retire someday with the peace of mind that we can take care of ourselves financially. In this lesson, I'll introduce the basics you need in order to design your own financial future. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. So when it comes down to creating a retirement strategy, there's no such thing as one size fits all. Everyone's circumstances and financial situations are a little different. With your own personal strategy, you'll know how much you can afford to spend each month and not outlive your retirement savings. One more thing, it's best not to count on federal government's Social Security program to fully fund your retirement. Don't bet on it. So, generally, Social Security will not pay you enough to live on in retirement. If you're getting ready to retire here, here's 5 steps to help you with your retirement plan. Reduce your debt, build your savings, contribute to a savings plan, and manage your investments. Reduce your debt. I recommend pay off your major debts such as mortgages, college loans, and other significant cash flow drains as quickly as you can. Build your savings. Set up your direct deposit. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account to help you save a little every month. Manage your investments. As a target retirement plan date draws closer, you may want to reduce the percentage of stocks and increase the percentage of bonds in your portfolio. That's because the prices of stocks can go up and down quickly over the short term, while bonds are more stable and produce a steady source of income. Also, ask your investment advisor about investments specifically designed for retirement. How much do you need to retire? How much retirement savings do you need to a large extent? The answer depends on the following 3 factors. Where do you plan on living and the cost of living, and what is the cost of living there? How many years will you retire in? How much will your healthcare expenses be during your retirement years? According to the U.S. Census, the average life expectancy is in the U.S. For women is roughly 80 years old, and for men about 75. But you may live a lot longer than that. And retirement years are when most people have their highest health costs. Determine the money you need. There's a general 4% rule that you shouldn't withdraw more than that from your retirement savings. Assuming a withdrawal rate of 4% for every dollar you want to withdraw annually during the retirement, you will need to have $25 in assets set aside at a time you retire. Retirement money, 5 common sources: Social Security, savings, investment, and pension income, new income. Social Security, the amount you receive in Social Security will vary on how much you earn, but for many retirees, their benefits equal 20 to 30% of their retirement income. Savings, this is the money you set aside in your personal savings account. Build your savings by contributing regularly. Try to find the highest rate of interest you can earn. In addition, consider starting a separate emergency fund to cover or offset the expenses for an unforeseen situation. Typically, emergency funds can contain between 3 and 6 months' worth of expenses. Investments, your portfolio of your investments might include stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and retirement plans, etc. Pension. A pension is a type of retirement plan in which an employer contributes to a common asset pool of funds set aside for employees' future benefit. These funds are then invested in the employee's behalf. The employee receives the funds upon retirement. New income. Many people, if they can, continue to earn money by working part-time, running a small business, or cycling between periods of employment and leisure in addition to the income. Continuing to work helps many people feel connected, useful, and satisfied with life. Closing the retirement money gap. Some strategies for savings is cutting back your spending, saving more starting now, delay your retirement date, pay your taxes quarterly, distribute your funds strategically. Cutting back your spending, consider lowering your monthly overhead by downsizing your home or moving to an affordable area. Delay your retirement date. You can choose to work longer, delaying the date when you depend on your portfolio income. A few additional years of full-time or even part-time income can make a big difference in achieving your retirement plan. If you own your own business, think about revising the business exit strategy in a way that generates more assets or income to support your retirement lifestyle. Pay your taxes quarterly. Rather than having your taxes automatically withheld in the retirement distributions, arrange to pay estimated taxes quarterly so you can have assets to the funds in the term. Consult your tax advisor for assistance with determining your quarterly payments. Distribute your funds strategically. Consider withdrawing funds first from your Social Security, then from tax investment accounts, and last from your retirement accounts, such as IRAs and other tax-deferred accounts. Ask your team for information. Be sure to creating a retirement strategy is a great first step, and there's a number of people who can help you do that. These include your employer, tax advisor, and an investment advisor as well. Think of these individuals as your retirement strategy team. Take advantage of the information they offer you. Create a team with your employer who provides you with a retirement plan, tax advisor, someone who handles your taxes, investment advisor, someone who helps with your investments, and insurance agent, someone who helps you with your insurance policies. Your employer. Does the company contribute to or match employees' contributions to pay the plan? Does the company offer an automatic payroll deduction option so I can spread my contribution throughout the year? What retirement benefits will I receive? Your CPA or tax advisor. Which retirement income sources should I first spend in order to minimize my taxes? At what age can I begin withdrawing money from my tax-deferred savings plan without incurring penalty? Currently, the answer is 59 and a half. The types of retirement plans, you need to determine which one would be right for you, like a traditional and Roth IRA, a 401k, a SEP, and defined benefit. A traditional IRA is an account that holds investments you've made, for example, CDs, mutual funds, or stocks. To help pay for your retirement, if you have earned income and you contribute up to 70 and a half, and your contributions may be tax deductible. The major benefit is that the government doesn't tax the interest you earn until you withdraw it. Normally, when you retire, this can help your account compound faster to give you more money at retirement. Traditional IRAs are good investments for money you don't need right away and can afford to invest for a short period of time. For a period of time. If you need it before you reach 59 and a half, unless you buy your first home or pay education expenses, you pay both a penalty fee and taxes on your withdrawal. A second type of IRA is called a Roth IRA. These IRAs offer an advantage for seniors. You may contribute to it and at any age as long as you have earned income and meet certain income limitations. When you open this type of IRA, you make after-tax contributions, but the money you withdraw after retirement may be free from federal taxes. Other types of plans are 401k, SEP, defined benefit. 401k is a common retirement plan that your employer provides to you. SEP, a Simplified Employee Pension Individual Retirement Plan, SEP, is designed for people who are self-employed. Funds may be invested in the same way as an IRA. Defined benefit. A defined benefit plan provides a specific income for retired employees, either as a lump sum or as a pension, an annual lifetime payment. The pension amount usually depends on the employee's age at retirement, final salary, and the number of years on the job. Social Security, let's learn how Social Security impacts your retirement. Social Security will not and was never designed to provide all of the income you need to live comfortably during retirement. To factor Social Security into your retirement plan, you should know how you can enhance your benefits and how much income you may need from other sources to financially be comfortable during retirement, especially if a portion of your benefits is subject to taxation. The basic concept of Social Security is that during their work years, all employees, employers, and self-employed individuals pay Social Security taxes, which are used to finance the program. You should get the benefits you deserve. Your benefits depend on several factors. One size of your Social Security benefit will depend on many factors. How much will you get, and when can you collect the benefits? Social Security benefits replace about 20 to 30% of pre-retirement earnings for the average person. But as your income rises, the benefits replace a smaller percentage. So Social Security may replace just 15% of your pre-retirement earnings, or much less. That's why it's important to have additional sources of income outside of Social Security. Control your finances with a savings plan. The right savings plan can help you set aside enough to pay your bills. On a piece of paper, write down the money you have coming in and what you should spend on an average month. Writing it down helps you see where you can improve and make better budgeting decisions. Ultimately, how you spend and how much is up to you. And it's always important to be realistic with your budget. Protect your assets. Learn more about valuable ways to protect your assets. Prepare for medical emergencies by ensuring you have money set aside, especially for unexpected medical bills. Consider longevity by increasing your savings so you can live comfortably in your 80s, 90s, and even beyond. And I've finished with the retirement. I'm going to pass it back to Jen.
Well, hopefully everyone was able to learn a little bit or something new about fraud prevention and retirement success. There are some handouts at every desk that I wanted to kind of review with everyone. The first was the presentation outline, what we talked about today. It's called Preventing Financial Abuse and also Healthy Financial Habits. The second handout is titled Suggestions for Seniors. This highlighted a lot of things that we talked about in our elderly abuse prevention and fraud prevention, and very helpful tips that we highlighted through today. Both of those are welcome for you to take home and review. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is all of this curriculum came from a website that is designated to the public on behalf of Wells Fargo called handsonbanking.org. The bottom of the website address is listed on the bottom of each page, so you guys can visit and review additional topics.